watch, not to sit in as fans or play in. Tony Romo.
It's not like the snow in Chicago.
Good to have him back trying to help snap a 7-game slide. And how about this? So elusive. Get rid of it, Tony. He does with his left hand. It's shy of the first down, but how about this? The escapability, if that's a word. He gets away from Neville Hewitt and Olivier Vernon. And then throws it with the bad arm.
I don't know if you ever practiced that.
Tony is a good athlete.
Practicing that.
And that's with his bad shoulder.
Did you run drills?
No drills like that. None.
Jason Witt was happy to have number 9 back. Just only 1 of 2 catches on the day, still without a touchdown since opening day. 13 plays, however, later, it's Romo looking for Dez, and I have no idea what happened here, except Frank Grimes picked it off.
You don't make that kind. I'm not going to say that's rushed, and Tony has been known to do these type of things in the most opportune moments, but this is a ball you cannot throw.
So it's Romo-esque.
True.
Okay. Second quarter, we're still scoreless. Ryan Tannehill hit by Rolando McClain, that is Mr. McClain, with Dallas's first defensive touchdown of the year.
Tannehill-esque, too.
Cowboys held Miami to just 210 total yards, by the way. Later on in the frame, Romo to Terrence Williams, who seems to reappear when number 9's in the lineup, goes up and gets it.
In double coverage, that's a heck of a catch. Great concentration. Go up and fight for that thing.
It's a heck of a weather change in this stadium.
And then Tannehill, with under a minute to go, hits Jarvis Landry. That was good coverage there by Byron Jones, but 47-yard pitch and catch.
This guy's a baller.
And 2 plays later, Tannehill to Jordan Cameron. He hasn't done much damage this year. The former Brown with the touchdown, and guess who's within 7 at the break?
That's what Tannehill does as well. A little bit like Aaron Rodgers. Get out of the pocket. He's dangerous.
On to the third. Romo overshoots his new running back, Robert Turbin, and it's Neville Hewitt with the INT.
That's another one that he'd like to have back.
He just can't do. Up under pressure, he will make these mistakes.
Later on in the third, Tannehill to Kenny Steele, who's got steals.
He steals from La Costa Canyon High School in San Diego.
We are tied at 14. Next Dallas possession, though, Romo. And look at the toe drag swag. There you are, Nate Burleson, by Terrence Williams.
Yeah, nice. That'll make the show tomorrow, right?
4 grabs, 79 yards, and a score.
When Romo's not in, this guy is a regular average receiver. With Tony Romo, he's a legitimate number 2 receiver.
The next play, Darren McFadden busts off 35 of his 129. He's had 300
Run
yards
DMC.
in the last 5 games. He stays healthy. He's a difference maker. On to the fourth. We haven't seen much Des Bryant in this highlight, have we? Till now. 50th career touchdown pass between those 2.
Throw up the X.
One better than a pair of Hall of Famers named Aikman and Irvin. Now, is Irvin going to be okay with that?
No, he's going to be sensitive. He'll be a little sensitive, but he'll play it off.
All right. So here you go. With Tony Romo starting games, Cowboys undefeated. Without him, winless. Y'all do the math. Better yet, why don't we catch up with Tony Romo? Our Jeff Darlington did that after.
Tony, you're backed up against the goal line. You got torrential rain hitting in your face. You throw a left-handed pass. How much did that play allow you to kind of just get into the flow of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I can think of a lot of other ways to get into a flow of football games, but we missed the block on the play, and so I'm not ready to, make a guy miss there, but you kind of have to in the end zone, and that's the one time that you're allowed to throw it left-handed.
I heard you talk a lot this week about rust. Do you feel like you shook off enough rust to go into a Thursday game against an undefeated team in a really big stage?
Yeah, I think this team's playing as well as anybody in the National Football League. It's going to be a great test. In the past, we've played against a few teams that have been undefeated, so we'll try and look back to some of those times and see what we can do.
Oh, the Twitterverse went crazy when number 9 returned. Most tweeted about players on Sunday. Look at this. More than Newton and Winston combined. And those guys
Tony Romo is back. Only one thing left to do.
Okay. So obviously the Cowboys are the talk of the town, even though they just picked up their 3rd win of the year. We have to keep in mind that the Cowboys just snapped a 7-game slide. No team has ever lost 7 in a row during a single season and made the playoffs.
It ain't going to happen now.
Why not?
Only reason we having a conversation because it's the Dallas Cowboys.
And they're in a so-so division.
No, only reason we're having this conversation is the Dallas Cowboys, and I love Jerry Jones to life. Why? Because Jerry Jones is the only owner in the NFL who leads us to believe that the Dallas Cowboys has the opportunity. to win the Super Bowl every year. I like when the Dallas Cowboys win. Why? Because I live in Dallas. The city's happy. The drivers are happy. No one cussing each other out on the highway. Everybody's happy when the Cowboys win. But as far as the Cowboys having a true opportunity to win the Super Bowl, stop it. Let's stop the nonsense.
Hey,
I put a fork in it last week, and it's over. Well, I'm happy for Tony Romo. I'm happy for Dallas, but this is not a playoff championship team, not whatsoever.
They dug a hole that's too deep to climb out of because 7 losses in a row, many of those were fourth quarter blown leads, okay? They didn't finish any games properly. Half the games, as you know, are decided by 7 points or less, so you have to finish in a 2-minute or a 4-minute drill. Well, they had to do that today. Tony Romo put a drive together. It was 14-14 at the end. He found a way to win it. But let's take a look at their schedule here, Chris. You know what? The next game happens to be against an undefeated team, Carolina.
On Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving. Is that a big game or what? And then they go to the Redskins. Now, the Redskins are pretty feisty at times, too. At Green Bay. It looks like maybe Green Bay's turning that thing around.
Really cold.
Be a little chilly, all right? And then Jets at the Bills and Redskins. So
That Jets game's on NFL Network, by the way.
okay. And you know what? They probably have to win out to get into the playoffs, to get 9-7, and that's going to be tough duty because the Giants are already at 5-5. They should get to 9-7. It's just they're going to have to run the table against some tough teams.
9-7. I don't think they have to get to 9-7.
I think 500 could win this division. That's what the Giants are right now.
Good, but you're counting on the Giants falling apart. You know, Carolina.
The Giants have one of the toughest schedules coming down.
Yep. Giants have the Redskins next,
Deal.
and then the Jets, they can win that one, and then the Dolphins, they can win that one, and Carolina's the tough one.
This
and
team
then at
is
the Vikings.
hinging on Tony Romo and this one person. They played against a team, Miami Dolphins, which they're horrendous. You know that. Everybody knows that. Their coach been fired. That's let you know how bad they are. Okay, and you threw 2 really bad interceptions. You could get away with that against the Miami Dolphins, but against the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton is going to convert that, and it's going to be 6. He's going to make those. It's going to pay dividends throwing those type of picks.
Can we
can't
agree,
do that.
though, that if they win Thursday, and I think it's a big if, but if they win Thursday at home against Carolina on Thanksgiving Day, that they're back in this thing?
Yeah, I'll get on that bandwagon.
I'm not
If they beat
on that
Carolina,
bandwagon.
I'm not on that bandwagon because
If they beat Carolina?
Forget if they beat Carolina. Carolina's just lost 1 game. That's what that means. You still got to consider what the Giants are doing.
All right.
I'm
just asking.
You must have got dressed in Michael Irvin's locker today.
I did not, believe me.
I can tell your tie. They tell you about your tie and all that.
I stay as far away from that thing as possible.
One game at a time, and we'll see what happens.
happens.
I'm not ready to give up on my Dallas Cowboys. We got to win. We'll get another one on Thursday. Have a great night, friends.